Anybody that tells you that price gouging is the primary reason why we have this inflation, they are either stupid or they are duped or they're trying to deceive you. Don't let people fool you into thinking that price gouging is a primary factor in inflation. It's not. If you think our inflationary issues are because of price gouging, you are going to take measures that will never work to resolve it. As a matter of fact, the measures that you take to address price gouging is basically price fixing. As the business owner, you totally lose your ability to set prices relative to what your raw materials and labor costs are. Let me tell you what are underpinnings. First of all, when there's a natural increase in demand for things. So for example, the latest iPhone, when there is a product that is hot and there's huge demand for it and there's not enough supply to satisfy that demand, that will push the cost of something up. Classically, it's been referred to as too many dollars chasing too few goods. One of the biggest reasons we have inflation is due to monetary policy. The Federal Reserve set short-term interest rates. When short-term interest rates are very low and it's cheap to borrow money, then a lot of people borrow money and all of a sudden there's a lot more money in the economy than there was. When interest rates are high, people are less willing to pay high interest rates and they will not borrow as much money. So there's not that inflationary pressure on goods and services when we have a smaller money supply. This is why, for example, our housing market gets really hot when interest rates are really low because people are like, money is cheap. I can borrow it at a lower cost. This is one of the fundamental underpinnings of inflation. Another big underpinning of inflation is when there are tax cuts. That means people have more money in their pocket because they are paying less money to the government. These are the reasons for inflation. If these people actually try to remedy inflation with price gouging, it is going to cause a problem for our economy. When you are a business owner like me, I sell services. I have to increase the cost of my services, not because I have to buy the raw materials, for example, to make cars, and the cost of my raw materials like metal has gone up, but because my cost of living has gone up. Since I'm paying $8,000 more in groceries, if I can't charge more for my services, then I can't afford to do what I do. If you are a home builder, for example, this happened during the pandemic, the cost of lumber went up 80%. The whole pandemic caused supply chain issues. People needed these goods and couldn't get their hands on them. It pushed the price of these things up. Forget about this idea of demonizing businesses. Even if it is true that there is price gouging, it's not the primary underpinning reason why we are experiencing inflation. It is a lie. If you believe it, and then our elected leaders take action based on that, it's going to be a big problem. Price gouging is an issue primarily around natural disasters, around our hurricanes, around heating shortages. I have yet to find a scenario where price gouging was named as the primary reason that we have inflation. I am seeing people who studied economics their entire life falling for this line that our inflation is about price gouging. It is not. Don't fall for it. You vote for someone who intends to battle inflation by dealing with price gouging. On the other end of that, you are going to find that you are in a more socialist, communist society, and the problems are going to be worse. And there's going to be more shortages because people are going to have to go out of business because they can't adjust what they are charging for their goods and services relative to market forces. They're going to be held to a particular price that they can charge that is determined by the government. And when has the government ever been super competent at anything? Why would you trust the government to fix what people can charge for their goods and services? You cannot. It is a trap. It is a ruse. They are banking on our ignorance, and they're saying it enough where people are accepting it as truth. Do not fall for this. Inflation is not primarily a problem of price gouging. It's just not. It never has been historically or any other time. Do not fall for it.